Deep in the Arctic winter, less than 3% of the ocean's surface is open to air. For narwhals, lifelines shrink to scattered ice holes, tiny windows between life and suffocation. Here, rivals with spiraled tusks turn each desperate breath into a ritualized spear fight. Why would whales choose such brutal battles beneath the ice? The answer rewrites everything we thought we knew about survival in this frozen arena. The Arctic in late winter is a world almost entirely locked beneath unbroken ice. The frozen surface stretches for thousands of kilometers, sealed except for less than 3% that is open to the sky. Only scattered holes and narrow leads, places where wind, current, or shifting flows keep water exposed, break the white expanse. These rare openings, called polynias, become the only lifelines for every creature that breathes air. Narwhals, unlike some Arctic seals or their cousin the beluga, cannot break new holes through thick ice. They must search for these natural windows, sometimes traveling more than a kilometer between each one. The ice dictates where they can go, when they must surface, and how long they can stay below. Elders from communities along Baffin Bay describe the ice as both shelter and trap. The hole is life. When the hole is gone, all must risk or leave. In this frozen maze, every polynia is a crowded crossroads. Survival here is not just about finding food or avoiding predators, but about reaching air before the ice closes in. The stage is set not by the animals themselves, but by the relentless grip of winter, turning each hole into a bottleneck where lives converge and the struggle for breath becomes a silent contest beneath the ice. Narwhals, known to science as Monodon monoceros, are medium-sized whales shaped for life in the Arctic extremes. Adult narwhals typically reach 4 to 5 meters in length, about the size of a small van, and can weigh up to 1,600 kilograms. Their most striking feature is the tusk, a spiraled ivory lance jutting forward from the head. This is not a horn, but an elongated upper left canine tooth, growing straight through the lip and sometimes reaching 3 meters, nearly as long as the whale itself. The tusk's surface twists in a gentle spiral, and inside it runs a dense network of nerves, making it far more than a simple weapon. Males are almost always the ones to carry these extraordinary tusks. Females usually lack them, or have only short, less twisted versions. This difference is clear, even from a distance. Males display the long, prominent tusks that have inspired centuries of myth, while females appear smooth-faced, blending into the pod. Scientists and Inuit hunters alike use this trait to tell the sexes apart in the field. The tusk is not just a curiosity, it is a key to understanding narwhal behavior, especially at the crowded ice holes where competition is fierce. In these moments, the tusk becomes a tool for display, a badge of status, and sometimes a means of settling disputes. This simple tooth, evolved into a 3-meter spear, shapes the social lives of narwhals across the Arctic seas. A narwhal's life beneath the ice is measured in minutes. Each animal can hold its breath for up to 25 minutes, diving to depths of over 1,000 meters in search of fish, or simply to wait out its turn at the surface. But the distance between breathing holes, sometimes more than 1,400 meters, means that every decision is a gamble. If the next hole is blocked, frozen, or crowded, the margin for error disappears. Marine physiologists studying narwhal muscle tissue found unusually high concentrations of myoglobin, allowing these whales to store enough oxygen for extended dives. Yet even this adaptation has limits. In winter, with the ice unbroken for kilometers, narwhals spiral below a single hole, forming a restless queue. Each animal must judge precisely when to ascend, timing its approach so it can surface, exhale, and inhale before sinking back into the dark. The line is silent, tense, and unforgiving. And if one whale lingers too long, or if a predator appears, panic can ripple through the pod. In these moments, the simple act of breathing becomes a contest of nerve, endurance, and timing, a race against the clock with no room for mistakes. Beneath the ice, tension builds as males edge closer to the breathing hole. Suddenly, 2 tusks cross in the gloom, long spiraled canines meeting in a slow-motion underwater duel. This is not a battle to the death, but a ritualized contest. High-speed cameras, first deployed under the ice in 2008, captured the moment. Narwhals circled, jousted, and swiped, each maneuver precise and deliberate. The tusks tap and scrape, sending subtle vibrations through the water. Most encounters end quickly, with one whale yielding and slipping away. But the message is clear. Larger, more robust tusks tend to win these standoffs. Field teams analyzing hours of footage found that males with the longest tusks consistently claim the safest, most direct access to the breathing hole. There are few injuries. These displays are about confidence, not carnage. As a behavioral ecologist once put it, nearly all tusk clashes are declarations, not duels. In the crowded darkness, these ritual fights resolve who waits and who breathes first, shaping the social order at every ice hole. Order beneath the ice is rarely accidental. As dominant males secure the straightest path to the breathing hole, others fall into place around them, careful to avoid the threat of a swinging tusk. Subordinate males, younger whales, and females must often wait on the periphery, their access shaped by the invisible rules of the pod. Here, risk is not shared equally. The edge of the group is the most dangerous place, exposed to sudden ice shifts or lurking predators, and farthest from the next precious gulp of air. Beneath the surface, narwhals fill the darkness with a chorus of clicks and whistles. Bioacousticians studying these sounds have found that call rates spike as the group tightens near a hole, suggesting that sound is a lifeline in the near-black water. Each click bounces off ice and bodies, helping whales judge distance and movement. Whistles may signal intent or position, reducing the chance of collision as dozens spiral upward in near silence. In this tight ballet, coordination is essential. Scientists using underwater microphones have started to map these acoustic exchanges, revealing a world where survival depends as much on listening as on strength. The pod's choreography is shaped by both hierarchy and sound, a system that lets narwhals navigate the chaos of the ice with remarkable precision. Inside the narwhal's spiraled tusk, millions of nerve endings wind from the base to the tip. Laboratory scans and CT imaging reveal a dense network of channels running through the ivory, connecting the tusk directly to the animal's brain. Anatomists studying these structures found that the pulp cavity remains open to the sea, allowing water to interact with sensitive tissue. In a controlled experiment, researchers exposed the tusk to water with different salinity levels and measured the narwhal's heart rate. The results were striking. When the salinity changed, the whale's body responded almost instantly. One laboratory scientist described the tusk as an inside-out tooth, not just a display, but a living organ tuned to the Arctic's subtle signals. This evidence suggests the tusk may act as a sensor, helping narwhals detect shifts in temperature, pressure, or salinity, and possibly guiding them towards safer breathing spots beneath shifting ice. Arctic sea ice is vanishing at a pace that would have been unthinkable a generation ago. Satellite records show summer ice shrinking by about 13% each decade, opening new stretches of ocean far earlier in the year. For narwhals, this is not just a shift in scenery, it is a fundamental change in the rules of survival. As the ice thins and retreats, ancient bottlenecks at breathing holes may ease, but the dangers multiply. Longer open water seasons draw ships deeper into narwhal territory. Vessel traffic in Nunavut waters alone has climbed by more than a quarter in just 6 years, bringing a surge of underwater noise. Acoustic monitoring reveals that ship engines can double background noise levels, masking the clicks and whistles narwhals depend on to navigate and communicate. At the same time, killer whales, once rare visitors in these frozen seas, now arrive in force, taking advantage of longer ice-free periods to hunt narwhals where they once found refuge. Oceanographers and Inuit hunters alike warn that the loss of ice is stripping away the narwhal's shield, turning every remaining breathing hole into a crossroads of risk, where survival depends not just on strength or skill, but on adapting to a world that is changing faster than the ice can reform. Today, as Arctic sea ice thins to record lows, narwhals face new threats: more ships, more predators, and fewer places to breathe. The ancient dance at the ice holes has entered uncharted territory. Their survival now hangs not just on instinct, but on how we shape the Arctic's future. Share your thoughts below.